Have you ever just looked at something that you were doing and been like, oh my goodness, this is how I am? I had a revelation like that at work this weekend because at work, I realized that somebody can ask me a simple question, like about like to do something, and my brain automatically goes to the whole ecosystem, like the finished task, what it's gonna take, everything. And it's like I've realized I do this in a lot of other places. I'm not really looking at each brick that I'm laying. I'm looking at, oh my God, this is unfinished, right? I'm just trying to picture the whole thing. I was out. It's like looking at an unfinished city instead of like just saying, okay, um, you've done this, this, and this, so you've laid some bricks. It's not finished, but you have been working towards it. So I'm going to explain a little bit more as we go into this episode because I feel like we ask ourselves too many arrival questions and not enough progress questions. Like it's always, are we there yet? Are we there yet? Are we finished? Did we make that goal? You know what I mean? So arrival questions are questions focused on just the finish line. It's not worried about anything that it takes to get there. It's like focusing on losing weight, but you're not paying attention to the fact that you're walking every day and you are losing weight, but you're not at your target weight. But that doesn't mean the work isn't like being put in. You know what I'm saying? Or like if you look at a business, right? You might have these visions of how your business like ultimately ideally would look, and you're overlooking the fact that you've definitely made strides. You just haven't gotten to where you want. So it makes us feel like like meaningful goals are not really being met, but meaningful goals take years to come to fruition sometimes. But it's always something happening along the way. Like progress is happening, right? You have to stop convincing yourself that nothing is happening because that's what I caught myself doing this weekend, and it's a trap. All right, it's the motherfucking trap. Okay. For instance, I am using Duolingo to practice Spanish, to learn Spanish. And no, am I fluent in Spanish? No. You know what I'm saying? I can get the gist of what is happening in the conversation, but I'm not fluent in it. But I have been studying a little bit every day for the last like 280 something days. That's nothing to sneeze at, but that's something that I often overlook if somebody were to say, oh, do you speak Spanish? No. And then I would beat myself up like, oh man, I don't speak Spanish. No, we've been working on it. It's something that we've been focusing on. So we're going to get there little by little. All right. I can even go back. I always like to use business as an example as well. Like business is never finished. You know what I mean? But for me, when I look back at the things that I've done, not the vision that I had for my business, I launched a podcast. I created a workbook. You know what I mean? I've done like some administrative things with my brand that, you know, are just behind the scene things. And y'all know if you've been following me for a while, you know I have a book coming out at the beginning of 2027 and I wrote the intro. I'm excited, okay? I'm so excited. But the point is, am I finished doing those things that, you know, that I set the goals for? No, but I am laying bricks weekly, okay? So I can use the Bible as an example as well. I haven't mastered the Bible by far, right? I've not done that, but I have read it all the way through, and I still read it daily because it's always something new that you find, and it's crazy how it, you know, you can get a meaning from anywhere that you open the Bible up to. That is interesting to me. But anyway, back to my point, the arrival questions, they mask the progress, they hide the progress. All right, so I'm going to stop asking myself arrival questions and start asking myself progress questions because they sound different. All right, they sound different. It's more like, am I showing up? All right, am I learning something? Because that's progress as well. Am I improving? Or my favorite is, am I being consistent? All right, because consistency can look a number of ways. It just means that you keep coming back. It doesn't matter that it's not every day. Consistency is not you giving 100% effort every day. It's you showing up and making an attempt. That makes up the consistency, right? So the question I would ask, like as a main progress question, would be like, did I take today's step? What I was supposed to do today? Did I take today's step? And then look for evidence that you're moving forward. All right, so these questions are the questions that I'm about to start asking myself versus arrival questions, because these questions, they really let you know exactly what's happening. And y'all know I love to connect to the daily five. All right. The daily five, if you're not aware, the daily five are 5 simple habits that you need to touch daily, and they bleed out into everything else. All right. It's nourishment, hydration, movement, rest, and reflection. All right. So basically, you're asking yourself if you've handled today. All right. If you've handled today, we're not worried about yesterday. We're not worried about tomorrow. If you've handled today, if you spend every day figuring out, or not figuring out, but confirming that you've handled what you needed to handle for today, stack those days on top of each other, and they all compound. Because consistency is really the cheat code. It's not the 55-minute workout. It's not the business. It's the consistent showing up and building it, showing up and working on whatever it is that is going to that's going to be the result, leads to the result of your success. So, motivation is not the secret. Okay. So motivation comes after the action. So don't look for that. Okay. The consistency, the fact that you show up for something on a consistent basis, that is the evidence that you're creating, right? That you can do something. It's not how well you do it. It's that you are creating that consistency. And then you stop wondering if can I do this? Can I do this? You've proven that you can do it every time you show up. Okay. So you won't be looking for discipline because you'll be displaying discipline. You know what I'm saying? You have the receipts, if you will. But the most important thing is the goal is not perfection. And that is what everybody is usually shooting for, perfection. No, the goal is evidence that it's going to be done. Okay, so I got questions for you. I love to ask questions at the end of my episode because this goes under the reflect pillar. All right. What arrival questions have you been asking yourself? You know what I'm saying? It's kind of like riding in the car with your kids and they're like, are we there yet? Are we there yet? No, but we passed this and we're about to come up on this and we're going to eat here and we're going to go there along the way, right? That's different. So, what arrival questions have you been asking yourself? And then I want you to ask yourself, what progress question could you replace it with? Okay. What progress question could you replace it with? All right. So, because maybe the problem isn't that you're behind, it's just that you're probably measuring yourself by the wrong freaking questions. Okay. Because if somebody, like I said, asked me if I'm fluent in Spanish, I'm going to say no, but I know what a lot of words mean in Spanish. So I've been building in that habit every day. So stop measuring yourself by the wrong questions, because what I learned about myself is that the city is not finished. It's being built, right? It's being built every time I come back and create that consistency, because consistency is still the cheat code. I might put that on a t-shirt. All right. Consistency is the cheat code. And the cheat code being consistency doesn't mean I show up to do this every day. No, it may be every 2 days, but you come back to it. All right. Anyway, I'm your girl Damita. Thank you for listening to this episode of the Self-Care Revolution podcast. All right. In July, starting July 1st, we're going to be doing an evening check-in, 5 minutes a day, self-care check-in. And I'm going to show how I use my workbook to include self-care in my daily life. Because once you are aware of what your intention is for yourself when it comes to the daily five, you can't unsee it. So join me on the YouTube channel, Self-Care Revolution. You can join me on Facebook, Self-Care Revolution. We will be checking in every day for 30 days for self-care check-in, and I'll show you guys how I use the workbook. And if you still haven't gotten the workbook, you can go to selfcaremattersdaily.com, grab the workbook. Okay, it's in the description below. And I will see y'all in the next episode. Peace.